We're about to take you inside a missing child mystery that has haunted Dallas for decades now. It was Christmas 1983 when a 2-year-old disappeared. Police made an arrest, but the case fell apart after a shocking move by the girl's mother. Tonight, our I-Team taking you inside the story from the people who were there.
She got killed in that house. This year, God made little green apples. Now this place is my nightmare right here.
This thing has laid dormant for a long time. It should never have laid dormant, never.
She does not want to believe in her baby's death. Any mother wouldn't.
I very definitely want her found, so I can get this off my conscience.
We know everything that happened here was a lie. Right after Amber was born, we got married. Beautiful little girl with blue eyes, long blonde hair. She was a jokester. She liked to smile. She'd hang out with me on my finger all the time. She liked holding on to my finger when she was a baby. Amber spent more time with me than she did anybody until the divorce.
A police helicopter searched the area of Pleasant Grove in rural southeast Dallas for nearly an hour today, looking for Amber Nicole Crum. Other police officers dusted the pickup truck owned by Britt Monroe today, looking for clues. Monroe had driven to this nearby store, leaving Amber in the front seat. By all accounts, Amber was alone in the pickup truck less than 2 minutes in the parking lot outside this store.
It's something that you don't know until you have to experience. You know, the responsibility for a little girl, and it was a dumb thing to do, to leave her in that truck.
I got met by the FBI at my grandparents' front yard, and they're like, "Where's Amber?" And I'm like, "Dallas, Texas." And they said, "No, she's not." And I said, "Yes, she is." As soon as they told me that she was missing, I knew it was bull. That he'd done something to my kid. Him or her had done something to my kid. There's no way that somebody would have kidnapped that child out of that truck on that morning.
She said she had checked on her daughter, who was supposedly asleep late Christmas night. She said her daughter was still, but with her eyes open. Miss Hughes thought nothing wrong. When she awoke the next morning, Monroe and Amber were gone, and Amber's blanket, pillowcase, and nightgown had been washed, the first time Monroe had done any laundry in the 5 months he had been living with Amber and her mother.
Trey picked me up at the airport, and I went straight to their house, 1120 Dowdy Ferry Road. Police everywhere, and Bill Deere would beat me there.
My name is William C. Deere. I'm a private investigator. Sometimes people call me on the phone because the children have been kidnapped or something. I think it was the aunt, Miss Hughes, called me. I had Monroe drive me up. He said that morning, and it was a cold, cold December morning, he said, I went up to get some Cokes. I said, would you mind driving me up to where you told him? It's a little convenience store, not a half mile or a mile from the house. Let me film you coming toward me, you know, parking the way you did, and going in the store, and then coming out, and what you did. Okay, sure, I'll do it. I had told him park where you parked originally, so he pulled in and parked. Then I asked him to tell me, you know, where was the little child seated? And he said, well, I left her in the car, and I left it running because it was cold. This is the grocery store. As you can see, that's the little convenience store.
We know nothing happened here other than he lied.
And you see over here where the pickup, there's a pickup right here. That's where he said he pulled the pickup next to the trash bin.
He lied about where he parked the truck. He lied about what he said inside.
And this was taken just a few days after I became involved.
So when you're nervous, you tend to get yourself confused. And I think he was nervous.
You've only got 2 people in a room. You got a baby in the crib, and then the 2 people, Monroe and her.
A customer who entered the store while Monroe was inside says he saw no child in the truck. Charlie Morgan testified he was 25 feet from Monroe's pickup and that he could have seen Amber if she'd been sitting inside. In other testimony, Stephanie Hughes' sister, Lynn, said Monroe has been known to abuse Amber.
Well, I know that the baby had bruises before and that Britt had done it. I didn't see him do it, but that's what I was told.
Who told you that?
Stephanie.
So Monroe maintained the girl had been kidnapped, but prosecutors felt confident that they could get a murder conviction.
And then all of a sudden, a shocking twist in court causes the case to fall apart in just minutes. You'll see that unfold next. Back to our cold case now. When a Dallas girl disappeared, the mother's boyfriend became the primary suspect, and police believe that he had killed the toddler and ended up making up a kidnapping story.
But everything changed when the mother changed her story.
The state's case against Monroe appears to have weakened. Before the hearing, police investigators had said much of the evidence against Monroe had come from Amber's mother, Stephanie Hughes. But on the witness stand today, Hughes contradicted a statement she made to police last week. Hughes told officers she believed her daughter died the night before Monroe says Amber disappeared. But in court today, Hughes testified she believes Amber is alive.
I don't think she really meant that the child was actually dead or that Brett would even kill the child. I don't think she believes Brett is capable of killing the child.
It wasn't long before Judge Don Metcalf granted Monroe's writ and set him free. So James Britt Monroe is a free man, pending any possible action by the Dallas County Grand Jury. But D.A. Henry Wade says he doubts the grand jury will indict unless and until the body of Amber Crum is found.
After she recanted that statement before the grand jury, that was it. They dismissed it. So we had enough for a circumstantial case. Still do. I have others that broke my heart, but not like this one. This one stands out.
Now this place is my nightmare right here. She was not kidnapped in no way, no how, no fashion. She was murdered the night before, hid during the night, and made up a bull story the following morning. Pretty little girl. Didn't deserve what she got, period. The emotions, one day, you'll be just level, sitting around the house. All at once you look up in the corner and you'll go from being just a nice day to, excuse my, that, you know, that's the way that it goes. And then you talk to her. My friends say, you still talk to her? I'm like, every day. I tell her morning every day, see you later every night. So yeah, I've talked to her for 40 years. She just ain't growed old than I have. One way or another, I've hunted for Amber. I've bribed people. I've had people in offices that weren't supposed to be telling me. But that's what you got to do. You just got to keep hunting and hunting and hunting. If you apply pressure long enough, something's going to break. It's what I do. It's my spare time. Find out what happened to my kid. And now I'm getting ready to retire, and that's going to make a lot of spare time. So I'm not going to quit. And they need to know that. They need to know that I will be there knocking on your door every year until I can't knock no more. For 40 years, I've beat, pounded, scratched, clawed, cussed, yelled, screamed, and couldn't get nobody to look at it. Hello?
Hi, Mr. Crum. This is Sergeant Alvarado.
Yeah, well, I'm just about there. I'm like 2 minutes out.
Okay, we just wanted to double check.
I just don't understand why no one has ever been held accountable for this. I want peace for me, I want peace for Amber, and I want justice for them. Today I got to meet with the police department, and they usually just tell me, Larry, there's nothing we can do. What the hell do you mean there's nothing we can do? Something happened to that little girl, so aliens didn't just come down and snatch her up and something happened to that little girl, and she didn't get kidnapped.
It is hard to wrap your mind around 4 decades of not knowing. IT producer Kelsey Mittauer put all of this together. So it begs the question, he walks through the door. Where does the case stand today? What's going on?
I mean, it's cold, but it's open. DPD won't say much because it's still ongoing. There hasn't been an arrest, obviously. Larry maintains contact with DPD. Stephanie told me that the last time she spoke with DPD was 11 or 12 years ago. And then I'm not sure about Britt Monroe. I was unable to reach him except through his attorney.
Right. We had the statement from the mom, obviously. We hear from the father throughout the piece. But overall, what are the parents telling you now so far down the road?
Yeah, it's hard for Stephanie to talk about still. I had a phone conversation. I've had a couple of conversations with her about she did not want to take part in this, but
But she talked willingly on the phone with you.
She did, and opened up more and more as we talked. I even asked her about, saying one thing and then saying another, and she really did believe at the time. I mean, she was 19. Yeah. She believed both things at the time that she said them, and I think she feels a lot of weight and a lot of guilt for kind of how things played out.
Peeling back the layers on a 41-year-old case. Kelsey, thank you. Big thanks to the I-Team. If you have any information about this case, you can call Dallas Police. Phone number is easy, 214-671-4212.